Okay, good morning. I think I need a new pen today. Maybe, those look pretty. All right. Okay, today we are looking at congruent triangles. So this is 4.6, congruent triangles. We want to be able to solve problems given that triangles are congruent. And so we want to understand what it means for triangles to be congruent, which is a very useful thing. So congruent triangles. Congruent triangles have the same shape and exact same size. They are the same shape and same size. This means that all corresponding parts, what do they mean by corresponding?
Sides and angles, like
It's hard, right? Corresponding, similar orientation piece is really, so it means all the corresponding parts, meaning each pair of angles and each pair of sides are congruent. And so it's important that the orientation matches. And so when triangles are congruent, we can write a congruency statement. This is a congruency statement. And a valid congruency statement must match up all corresponding angles and sides. And you can see here, these two triangles look very similar, but are they oriented the same way? No, they're not. In fact, I think this triangle, if you were to flip it, then they would be more closely oriented the same way. So what we're seeing here are the markings that are super important, okay? And so when we see we have a single arc mark at angle A, it's going to match up with the single arc mark at angle D. And you can see those letters both came first. Then we have the double arc mark at angle B and the double arc mark at angle E. And those letters, those angles came second. Those points, really. And then last, we have the triple arc mark at C, and that matched up with the triple arc mark at F. So just using the angles, if they're all marked, is a nice way to set up your congruency statement. But embedded within that are also sides. So for instance, I can look at here, if I just take A and B, side, that would be side or segment AB. Here's segment AB. And it's going to match up with segment DE. So if I just take the two letters, so there's DE, and you can see they both have the same tick mark. So looking at pairs of letters, it also gives us the sides that also match up. So how this statement is written gives us a ton of information. So when we have a congruency statement, there are three pair of congruent angles, and there are three pair of congruent sides, all right? 3 and 3. 3 pair of congruent angles and 3 pair of congruent sides. So if we have a congruency statement, we know a lot about the triangles, okay? And that's really, really important, and we can read all of that stuff straight from that congruency statement. So it's a powerful, powerful little statement. Now, it turns out we have this other thing called CP-CTC, and we're going to use this again towards the end of the unit. CP-CTC stands for corresponding parts. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, okay? Which is basically what I just said. If we have congruent statement, a congruent statement, then we have 3 pair of corresponding angles that are congruent. We have 3 pair of corresponding sides that are congruent. And so any corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So let's use these congruent statements and list all the congruent angles and sides given by the congruency statements. So on number 1, so we have a congruency statement, triangle JKL is congruent to triangle PQR. We have no picture, but we don't need a picture because the congruency statement is very, very strategic. So angles, right off the bat, angle J has to be congruent to angle P. Yeah, why do we know that? Because they were both placed first. They match, all right? Angle K would be congruent to angle Q. Again, they were in the second position. They must match, all right? And then angle L is congruent to angle R, all right? And again, those were in the third position, so they're a pair that matches. Does that make sense to you? All right, so now we do the same thing with the sides. We need 2 letters to write the sides, and so we have, I'm going to start with JK. Segment JK is congruent to segment PQ. All right, now, please make note of the notation. Segments can be congruent to each other, so they need the little segment bar on top. Okay. Let's see. If I said, excuse me, KL, segment KL is congruent to segment QR. Good. And then I could say segment JL would be congruent to, yeah, PR. Again, so I'm taking the first and third, and that's going to match up with the first and third PR. Okay. Now, we want to write another valid congruency statement. So as long as things still match up, we can change the order of the letters however we want. So another valid congruency statement, if I say triangle KLJ is congruent to triangle, what would you say? K matches up with Q, so we'd have to start with Q. QRP, yeah. KLJ, that was a 2, 3, 1 position, so I'd do the same thing. 2, 3, 1 would be QRP. QRP. So, but there are a bunch of different ways, 6 different ways we could write valid congruency statements, okay? Do you need more practice with that, or do you think you got that?
I got it.
You got that? Is that okay? All right. So, given that triangle KPM is congruent to triangle AYC, complete each of the following statements. Now, I encourage you to use that congruency statement carefully. Let's mark our picture up based on the congruency statement. So right off the bat, angle K. I'm going to give angle K 1 tick mark. What else should I get 1 arc mark to? A. So really important. I'm going to give 2 arc marks to angle P. All right. So what else gets 2 arc marks? Y. All right. And then I'm going to give 3 arc marks to angle M and angle C. All right. Super important that you label those so you don't confuse yourself. And I can use these labels pretty easily to help me out here. So here I have segment KM. So segment KM, I'm going to just give it 1 tick mark. KM has the single and the triple arc mark on the ends of it. Do you see that? So what segment does that match up with? CA. See, it has the single and triple arc mark on the ends of it. And so those 2 segments go together. So CA, segment CA. Let's see, actually we could also say KM goes with AC or CA. The order really doesn't matter there, but all right, let's see. CY is right here. It has the triple and the double arc mark. I'm going to give that 2 tick marks. So on my other triangle, the triple and the double arc mark is which segment? PM. So that one matches there. And you can see it here as well. CY are the last 2 letters. And in our congruency statement, the last 2 letters are also PM. So There you go. Ooh, that's a really pretty color. All right. And then PK is this side right here, and that would that's going to get 3 tick marks. Should also match.
YA.
YA. All right. So angle Y is congruent to angle P. And again, you can just look at the congruency statement. Angle K is congruent to angle A. I do like just my picture as well. That's going to be really important. Angle ACY. ACY is really just angle C. What's that congruent to? Angle M. ACY. So I would name it the same way she did. She used 3 letters, so we also should use 3 letters. ACY went down our single tick mark and then our double tick mark side. So in my triangle over here, single tick mark to double tick mark would be KMP.
I also did it off the,
And did you do it off the statement?
yeah.
ACY, so 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Triangle MPK. MPK is going to be congruent to triangle CYA. Good. And again, so angle M, or I guess you could go backwards here. Triangle MPK. MPK is just the backwards of this. So MPK would match with CYA. Yep. And then YAC. PKM. Triangle PKM. All right. Cool. Questions on SF? All right. Okay. Let's look at number 4. Triangle STW is congruent to triangle BFN. So again, I want to mark up my triangle based on my congruency statement. It's going to really help me figure out what the measures are. So I know that angle S is congruent to angle B, so I'm going to label those. Hey, what do I know about angle B?
Angle B is 67.
It's also got to be 67 degrees because they should match. Let's see, angle T is congruent to angle F. So I'm going to give those 2 arc marks. Again, I want to mark them differently so I can see that they're a different pair of congruent angles. I don't know anything about that one yet. And then I have angle W is congruent to angle N. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 tick marks for angle N. Oh, hey, what do we know about angle W?
82.
It's also 82 degrees. Oh, hey, now that I have 82 and 67, can I figure out angle T? Yeah, how do we do that? Add and subtract from 180. Good. So 180 minus 82 minus 67. What do you guys get?
31.
31. Which means angle F is also 31 degrees. Okay.
Wait, so would TW for like the B, would that just be 14?
So TW has the triple and double, so I'm going to give that a mark. And that would match up with the triple and double angle here, which would be 14. Yes, so that also would be 14 centimeters. What does TS match up with?
And B?
BF, yeah. So when I look at TS, I'm seeing I've got the double arc mark and the single arc mark. So the side with the double and single arc mark is BF. Can also see it from here. ST is the first 2 letters. That would be segment BF, the first 2 letters. Okay. So BF is also 17 centimeters, which means 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. WS matches up with BN, so that's also 9 centimeters. Let's see, so BN was 9 centimeters, TW is 14 centimeters, BF is 17 centimeters, angle W is 82 degrees, angle B is 67 degrees, and angle F is 31 degrees. So when I do things, I just go and right to the picture, just focusing on the picture, and then I'll go in and fill in the little lines. Okay, I think using the pictures and writing on the pictures is the best plan of action most of the time.
We should like go to number 6.
We should go to number 6. I agree. Let's go to number 6. All right, any questions on that one? All right, so number 6. Again, we have a beautiful congruency statement. So I want to, again, mark up my picture quite a bit here. It looks like they've given me a bunch of side lengths here. So I want to label my side length pairs. So UV is going to match up with TS. So I'm marking my UV and TS. I have VW, so I'm going to give that a double tick mark. What's VW going to match up with? SR, double tick mark. And then the third sides, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 must match by process of elimination. Okay, which means we can write 3 easy equations here. What's one equation? What's the equation with x's? Good. Again, because they're congruent, we can set them equal to each other. Do we need to solve that? Yeah, okay. And then what's the equation with y's? Good. 5y minus 33 equals 57. We have this game from 1984. It's called Stop Thief. It is the greatest game by far. But it has this little sound effect where the criminal is running, because it's all just like, it's so funny. But anyway, they're running away from the police. And it goes, that's the sound effect from 1984. It's so funny. Okay, sorry, I digress. What's my equation for Z? Good, 3Z plus 14 equals the side with the 50 on it. All right? Any questions on that? Okay. And then you could solve for the letters, yeah? Okay. All right. Is that it? Let's see. Yeah, you think, is that good? Are you sure? Oh, okay. All right.
Let's go, 18 minutes today.